Flipping on the grind.
What's going on? It's your boy Marcus Q.
It's your boy AV.
And this is the Map Social Presents.
The Duology Podcast.
I'm excited about this one. We got a special guest in the building.
The boy, the bro. Marvis, the middleman ATX in the building.
Got him.
Yo. What's up?
The
Yo,
voice
shout
of the
out.
street,
What's
the
up?
earplug, the
What's
hustler,
up?
you know what I'm saying?
You're in the middle of everything for real.
I'm
I
trying.
think you be in every circle. I'll be trying to go different places. Marvis is there. I'm like, hey, guess who I saw? And then I'll go somewhere else. You be there too.
Yeah.
That's a good
I
thing.
really be trying to be low key though.
You don't do a good job of it.
Low key hockey.
Somewhat.
So what would you, is there any labels? Are you a promoter? Are you just connecting everybody up? Like, how would you label what you do?
I'm just a connector, man. I think that I'm in a lot of spaces where I'm known to do some things, you know. So like with Keep It Cute, I'm the host. In the beer industry, I'm a big connector for people of color to get back into like brewing and
That's what's up.
learn about brewing. And just overall supporting like other people of color and events and just support. I think that's the biggest thing.
Okay. Where you originally from?
I'm originally from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, born and raised.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was this something you always did? Like, or is this something you started to gravitate towards once you got out to Central Texas?
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been a person to like connect with people and like, you know, this is my boy, stuff like that. You need something. But I think the work that I've done in the past few years here has been due to George Floyd being murdered and then a brewery in San Antonio coming with an initiative
How long you been here in Austin so far?
since 2015.
Got you.
All right. So you brought that up, so we can start with that. That's the As One project.
No, so the first initiative that I was a part of was called Black is Beautiful.
Okay.
It was by a black-owned brewery in San Antonio, Weathered Souls, that no longer exists now. It's closed down. But when George Floyd got murdered, he wanted to amplify, you know, people of color, made a mission statement, you know, and a very great initiative that hit even outside of the U.S.
For sure.
So in Austin, I was the front runner, pretty much going to breweries, talking to them like, hey, you need to brew this beer. It's important. And sort of how I became the nickname of the middleman.
Got you.
Okay.
Did somebody dub you that, or you just like, nah, I'm gonna call myself this?
Well, I mean, me and my bro Shannon, that we do that As One collaboration we're talking about. We sat down about it, and I was like, man, I think I'm gonna call myself like the middleman. You know, because
I think it's dope.
yeah, I mean, I've just been the bridge, and I know people are saying like, hey, the middleman could be bad, but in this situation, no. I've been very amplifying about the diversity work I've done, and just being a genuine person to a lot of people.
Got you.
It's so when by the time you got the As One project, it says that you are one of Austin's best known black beer industry professionals. At that point, how did you build up to that point? How did that come to life? What type of connections? How did you get into the brewery industry and learning about beer and all of that good stuff?
Man, it was a limbo. I never did beer before when I first came in the industry, so I was like a lost puppy. And then as time went on, meeting people and growing relationships with other breweries and other brewery friends, right? And then when this initiative dropped, I was more front faced, where a lot of breweries were kind of on the fences about doing it. They wanted to support, right? But I think they just needed a little bit of kick, and that's kind of what started to where now me and Shannon has always been very much known in the industry for the work he's done with Urban Jungle, and he's still actively trying to be the first black-owned brewery in Austin. So it's been great to be able to see it come from me and him meeting before COVID. Black is Beautiful initiative happened. I did all the stuff and the work for Black is Beautiful during COVID, and I continued from that point until we fast forward now that I told him, you know, maybe 2 years ago, like, hey, I want to do this thing. At first, this was supposed to be like a podcast called As One, but then I was thinking about it. I was like, we can amplify it more by doing this beer that supports bringing people of color into the craft beer community, and also other people that are not too fine with beer that want to learn more and be safe in those spaces.
I'm curious, like, because I've like since I came out here, like I've been to different breweries, and I think it's a thing out here for sure.
Yeah.
What has been something that you feel like has been a challenge when it comes to some of these breweries? Like, is there anything that maybe you didn't realize would be like a hurdle?
I mean, I think when you don't know really about craft beer, I think the challenge is trying to know what you like.
Okay.
And I think some people can make it difficult for people like that because if you have a line, you know, you're trying to get people through, and I understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you meet people that it's like, okay, this is what this beer is, and this what this tastes like, and they're kind of dialing your palate in,
Mm-hmm.
I think those people are great. But the challenge is if you're going into a brewery and you really don't know, you either get a really great person
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to get somebody that's going to rush you. So my
Uh,
advice would just be grab somebody that maybe, hey, you ever been to this brewery?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like not saying that the person you might take is a professional at it, but at least they know like, hey, this beer is a little bitter or this beer is like really high in alcohol content, you know, so you can kind of like dial in what you want to do, what you
Yeah,
want to drink.
yeah.
Gotcha.
As an avid sipper for about 45 years
Yeah.
now,
Mhm.
I can definitely attest to that. I've been to breweries, and you go into some of them, and you get
Mhm.
like a lot of push if they feel like you don't know enough
Mhm.
about certain
Gotcha.
beers, and then you get that person that's really passionate. They want you to
And
learn. They
yeah,
want to educate you on it. They talk about the hops, the
Mhm.
volume, all of that
Oh,
good
yeah.
stuff, and the
Yeah.
taste, the
Like I like
notes,
that taste.
and that makes me get
Yeah.
into. I used to not even want to go near beer. It took me a
Yeah.
while, and then I really got that appreciation and taste of wheat beers and things
Yeah.
like that from meeting somebody at a brewery that just talked about it. Like when you drink beer, you or drink a wine or anything like that, you supposed to be drinking for the taste, not
Yeah.
just to be drinking, and that's
Yeah,
why I
most definitely.
appreciate it. I definitely want to circle back to the initiative. I think the purpose behind what you did is very important,
For sure.
but I want you to talk about some of the great things that came out of this and the initiative. What's some great things that you've seen happen come out of this for you putting it together?
I think the greatest thing is community, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have a community in Austin that a lot of people are like, well, where are our people at, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that me and Shannon have done a great job with um, bringing everybody together,
Gotcha.
whether they're, you know, black, white, Hispanic, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They come to these events and they enjoy themselves. We have a DJ, we have vendors, so it makes it a little bit open to people to open their eyes a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The success has been, you know, I'm currently on the board of the 100 Black Men Austin too. So I've done a lot of work with my brothers in there.
Mm-hmm.
Mas Cultura is another nonprofit that I'm a part of that I've helped amplify some things with them also. And then Dawa Heals has been a really great tool. A key Shaka and his team has been wonderful
Mm-hmm.
of making sure that we are in those spaces and we're being heard, and especially like the givers giving. Like he always talking about the givers are giving,
Mm-hmm.
um, and or give the givers. I think I'm saying it wrong. My bad, Shaka.
No,
But
no, no.
I think what he's been doing also has helped me also kind of amplify. Like he says, like, hey, you need to take a break. And it's just good to support your community. You know,
Yeah.
I think when I was maybe younger in the army, I was only focused about the army. I was really the community. You know, you're just laser focused in your job. But now that when I moved to Austin, I wanted to be more involved in like, because I live here.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
Yeah.
know, well, not technically, but
Yeah.
I live in Texas. I live in Austin. That's a big city. I want to be able to support and kind of do what I've been doing.
I definitely can appreciate that. I feel like the middleman you said earlier could be a bad thing. I
Hmm.
see you as like a culture connector
Yeah.
because
That's what I
I
mean.
see you in the apparel space talking to people
Yeah.
about kicks. You always got the fresh kicks on. You always throwing events. You're that guy there, even if it's not your event, telling people about what's happening,
Hmm.
what's going on. I see you doing interviews.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something you can really appreciate because for me, I speak honestly on this podcast. I like to see my people together, but I want there to be a purpose behind when we connecting up. I don't want
Yeah.
us just leaning up against the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, we met up because we look the same.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want us to come together and start making things happen. And I think you can do that through
Do people like you?
apparel,
Yeah.
drinking,
Yeah.
events, be on the creative side, music, and I
Yeah.
feel like you connect a lot of those different things up. So giving you your flowers, brother.
Did you
Oh man, I appreciate it.
did
Yeah,
you have like it's funny because we talk to a lot of different entrepreneurs. I feel like there's a lot of people doing their own thing,
Yeah.
especially in Austin. It's kind of like you said, coming together. Like, hey, yo, let's collaborate more. Let's collaborate more. And some people that we talk to, like, there's a lot of money, I guess, like here in Austin, as far as like grants and things like that. Have you explored that? Do people come to you with that information to be like, you know what? Hey, especially being military,
Yeah.
like I think there's a lot of resources that could be used to actually support what you're doing. Do you tap into any of those networks?
You know, I've to be honest, I think I just had the conversation like maybe 30 minutes ago,
Okay.
right? Um, all the donations and stuff that I've done, I've never touched the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been donated to community.
Mm-hmm.
I've never asked for a grant, maybe a donation for like alcohol for events, right?
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, no. And that's something today that my good friend B was talking about. She was like, "Hey, like maybe you should tap in, like you do as one, or you do keep it cute, like trying to get a grant to help support the movements that you're doing."
Mm-hmm.
And I never really thought about it,
Gotcha.
because I was just more laser focused on making sure all of us are in these spaces and I get people together for you to meet this person, for you to meet that person,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of me step away, and people make those relationships and those connections without having to call me or like
Gotcha.
be in those conversations.
Absolutely.
That's what's up.
The flow is going good because you brought up keep it cute.
Yeah,
we
I was
leaned
just
into
thinking
it.
about that. So.
Daydreamers is one of
Yeah.
my spots, one of my favorite spots.
Yeah, it is a good spot.
I think it's very tough to do events out here. We dipped our foot in the pool a little bit. We had some successful ones. We had some dreadful ones. No shame in failure. Failure
Yeah.
just means growth.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about Keep It Cute and Daydreamers.
Yeah.
Y'all are consistently growing. Last time I was
Sure.
there, it was shoulder to shoulder.
It was
Yeah.
a vibe. It's always been a vibe. We have moments in that spot.
What are y'all doing with that, and why do you think it's working so well?
Yeah.
Man, we just want to have people to have a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we promote very well. It's
Mhm.
between me, G, Yo Colombo, and whoever's the guest.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just engaging,
Yeah.
engaging with people, telling people about it,
Mhm.
telling your friends to tell other friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because we're some good people and we know some good people, right? So when you have good people in the space, hey, you been to Daydreamers?
Yeah.
Or I've heard people say, oh man, I missed it. We
Mhm.
thought it was this weekend. And the relationship with them is great too. Like, as far as like communicating when we're gonna do it.
Right.
The music is consistent. It's not like it's not all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think we just have been doing a good job of promoting, which now we're going to 2025. It's
Yeah.
our anniversary coming up next month.
Not to what is do you have a favorite thing about Daydreamers?
Well, I'm about to touch on that.
Yeah.
What I think Austin is a secret foundation of a lot of things to work well. You just have to get the right people and get the right recipe together, right? What I like about Daydreamers is whatever y'all doing behind the machine, y'all getting creatives and a more mature crowd.
Mhm.
They think as we age, you get up in the upper 30s or mid 30s that we don't want to do shit no more.
Yeah.
We just don't want to deal with the foolery of shit.
Yeah.
We want to go out, have a good time, let our hair down, network, get a little buzz, and listen to some good music. And that's what I get there. It's not a whole lot of spaces in Austin that's giving you that. And I think what's smart about you all, y'all make us want to come back for more because we're not getting it every Saturday.
Yeah.
You make us wait and build the anticipation, which keeps the quality of it. I would like to see that in more spaces. There's the spaces for it here, but I think Daydreamers is the only one that I know of where I've consistently enjoyed it, and that's just speaking honestly.
Yeah. For me, like, especially like for like the transplants or people that are not from here,
Yeah.
and you bumping into people. Every time I've been to a Keep It Cute event, it's like I'm running into somebody that I met before.
Yeah.
Like my homie Shaggy. I see like DJ Shaggy. I see Shaggy. I saw this other girl there. I was like, oh, what's up? How you been? What you do? I just heard about this spot, and I'll tell people about it. We'll share it around.
Yeah.
But sometimes people might not show up, and then they'll show up by accident. I'm like, oh, my other friend told me about it. I'm like, I told you about it.
Or they
too.
forget.
Yeah.
Shout out to the
yeah.
no fee.
Yeah.
We were talking about Houston earlier. Something like that you're gonna have to pay for.
For real.
$15, $20. And if you want quality, you gotta pay for it. But
Yeah.
y'all are figuring out, like you said, you doing events and you donate money back. And I'm not trying to get all up in your business about how you keep it going.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's good to
it's all
see
right.
that, like, you could charge for it,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
you could.
I'm able to go there, have a good time, let my hair down, enjoy the drinks, and not have to pay for that. Houston, you paying for shit like that in a lot of
Yeah,
spaces.
And I feel like another great thing about ours is like this last Keep It Cute. It was funny that someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, I came here because I went to your page because someone shared it." And then I told my people to come and I told my girl to come and I told and we don't know you.
Yeah. He said we don't know.
You know what I'm saying? We know your name, but we don't know you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know the other two.
Yeah.
So it felt good, for these people to say, when's the next one? The anniversary coming up. Like, okay, cool. So, I think we just, I do a good job with trying to tell everybody that I know, like, hey, don't forget, I'm hosting this event with my boys, and shout out to Columbo and G Nice. Like, they've welcomed me into this Keep It Cute thing a year ago, like when I didn't even want to get on the mic like that. I kind of was like, well, what am I supposed to do? It's
Can
like
you
a
touch on
trial
the
run.
responsibilities of y'all three within Keep It Cute?
Yeah,
Like,
who's
who wears what hat?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much the host.
Okay.
The hostess with the mostest.
Okay.
And they spin. They provide the music.
I got you. And it's R&B, if I'm not mistaken. More
So
R&B
I think
push.
a lot of people get it confused. It's yes, but also we play everything. As you know, we just want people to vibe.
Yeah.
Come keep it cute. We can keep it cute. Listen to R&B. We can keep it cute doing hip hop. Just it's not strictly an R&B event. I
Yeah.
think that's something that I've had to instill in my brain sometimes when I tell people, I'm like, it's an RM. No, wait. Excuse me. We just want you to come and chill and have a good time and vibe out and
Well,
keep it cute.
shout out to first of all y'all for collaborating and making it a good environment, and then shout out to Daydreamer because
Yeah.
some venues out here sometimes in our experience they're kind of like difficult to work with a little bit sometimes, and it seems like you have a good relationship with Daydreamer.
Yeah. Shout out to Amanda at Daydreamers.
They're giving y'all free range to make it your own when you're there.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of crossover and stepping on any toes.
Yeah.
They doing their thing on their side of the business, and y'all doing y'all thing when y'all there. And I think that's what make it work. If I'm not
and they love when we're there.
Yeah.
That's
y'all
that's
cool.
a great
Y'all ain't
thing.
all that.
Yeah. We
You got to get humbled down a little
keep
bit.
it cute. Keep it cute.
I know you worked with a lot of people. Will there be any more events at RSRV?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we still gonna do some events. Me and G and my homie Wit. We're gonna. I think next week we're doing. Or by the time this release, it'll be Wednesday. We're gonna do another wind down. But we're trying to see if maybe it's gonna be like monthly instead of like weekly. I know sometimes you do stuff weekly, you burn people out, man.
Yeah,
So
it's nothing to look forward to, I guess.
yeah. So like for this, it was. I mean, even though we were doing it all the way till Christmas, it was like really packed, medium, really full, and then we hit the holidays, and then we were like, hey, let's rethink this, and we just want people also to support them too. Shout out to RSRV, like and the team over there.
Do y'all kind of go South by coming up? Do y'all kind of go dark during that time and split up and do y'all own thing, or do y'all turn it up and y'all?
So we will there. So crazy thing is the first weekend, that Saturday is the Saturday of Keep Cute.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh okay.
And what is that? March 7th or what?
March 8th. No, it should be March 8th.
Oh, because we're Friday. Yeah, we'll be around that area. We'll be down
March
there.
8th, man.
Far.
Yeah,
and so y'all keeping it going, or y'all doing anything different to turn it up, or y'all just if it ain't broke,
I don't know,
fix
man.
it?
You have to find out.
I'll be there. I'll slide
people.
Hey, no, I mean we do have something we're working on the back end. I can't really disclose it because we've been trying to like make sure it's locked in, but it's gonna be great, man. And I think last year when we did South by, it was packed.
That's
so we know this year with what should be coming, it's gonna just be more packed.
Okay, cool. I respect your opinion on things because you're out here working and it's actually working. You're not just out here talking. I feel like a lot of people will get behind a mic or try to throw one event and just say they doing something, but there's consistency here, so I can appreciate that, and I'm learning that here more tonight. I want to go a little bit lighter with things,
okay,
and just talk about a little different subjects here and there.
All right.
We're gonna get to who stole whose style first. You or Lloyd? I don't know if you stole Lloyd.
Oh, the singer Lloyd. yeah.
Do you aspire at? Because you're an artist. I'm an artist. Are we all gonna go around? Do you aspire after anybody, or do you feel like you come together with your own style all together on your own, or do you kind of like take notes from people?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I take notes from everybody.
Okay.
I think because you got to be diverse, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And pick other people's brains of like writing techniques or like why you choose that beat.
Yeah.
That's what my boy that's in Missouri, shout out to E. He's very meticulous with beats.
Yeah.
So it's like I know, like I'm like he ain't gonna like this one.
Yeah.
Like I just know, and the people will be like, yeah, this is a banger, and then they give it to him. He's like, yeah, I don't like that. You got something else?
In the entrepreneur realm, business realm, is there somebody that you would aspire to be similar to, or kind of like mirror some of your morals or motives behind doing things?
That's a good question. Never thought about that.
Yeah, like if there's anybody you saw, it's like, you know what? I see myself having this projection. Put your twist on it, but like you can see them moving, like how you move.
I don't know, man. I really never took the time to really look at them. I
You
always
better
said
not say
stay.
Diddy. You know
Nah,
Diddy at one
nah,
event
hell no.
tonight. That
I
ain't
always
cute.
stay. I've just tried to stay in my lane and maybe have mentors, like being for the army. Like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, just take pieces from people that I've learned things. You know,
Yeah.
it's not one particular person.
Hmm.
You know, it's like, okay, like I could be like, okay, for this person, I really like how they talk about certain things, and this person, I like how they kind of move.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I just kind of like stayed in my lane of not trying to like step too much in other people's
Got you.
realms. Just do your own thing.
You mentioned the military a couple times. You did 4 years.
11.
Oh
Damn,
goodness.
okay, man. You
Appreciate
stretched
your
out the leg
service.
like
Appreciate your
Yeah, somebody
service.
said 4 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
Is this
Nah.
this is a safe space for us to talk about that,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Do you see it being hard for a lot of people to transition over coming out of the military
Oh
with
yeah.
it being so structured
Yeah.
and kind of figuring out where they going in life? And was that a struggle for you at all, or did you just kind of jump straight into the pool and
N-
get to it?
I think it's for some it could be a real struggle. I'm not
Hmm.
saying that everyone struggles, right?
Right.
Some people they are great. They can transition out,
Hmm.
go into the world.
Hmm.
You know, some people it's hard, man. For me, it was hard. You
Yeah.
Hmm.
know, I was in a mentality of leading soldiers, training soldiers,
Right.
um, wanting to be a leader
Hmm.
Right.
and to like have to come back into a world where I'm like kind of like building things, like, not really knowing about like the workforce of like
Hmm.
having, yeah, I mean, they teach you about a resume, but like knowing you need certain skills for a job, like you just can't like go in there and be like, hey, I was in the army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That don't cut it. Like, well, what did
Hmm.
you do?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you might not have the skills for that job.
That's a
So
big issue in the private
Yeah.
sector, right?
yeah,
Like,
People get it. They get it twisted though. Like what
well,
he
because
just said, because they
yeah,
think like, oh, you were military,
mm-hmm.
so it's probably easier for you to get employment, and it's like,
Yeah,
no, you
it's
don't have
not
certain skills.
like
yeah.
it's not, and I
It
think
depends on fields that you're going in. It might be a green flag like
Hmm.
military to law enforcement or
Yeah.
something like that. Maybe I'm
Hmm.
assuming, but like in the private sector in different spaces, corporate spaces, I'm sure they can't wait to grill you. Like, okay, you was in the army.
What did you
yeah.
do?
But
Yeah,
what did you do?
yeah,
I think yes, it's in some spaces it's great, because especially if they, they don't know the rank structure.
Hmm.
yeah,
They're like, okay, he was a leader, this, that. But then, I look at like certain qualifications now in the outside realm, even now that I've
Hmm.
been out for a while, right? And it's like, well, I still don't have like the 5 years of being like a general manager, or like I don't have the 5 years experience on like Adobe or
yeah.
whatever they're
Yeah,
It's
asking.
like
yeah,
Yeah,
certain
meticulous
now
or
they're
level.
really
Yeah,
nitpicking,
precise. Yeah,
right?
specific.
We
Yeah.
support veterans. We want to hire you, but then once you get to like the bold print at the bottom that's kind of small,
Hmm.
now it's kind of like, now you might not be a good candidate.
what helped you transition and figure things out? What was that moment where you was like, okay, the anxiety's coming down a little bit. I got this. What was that shift and change?
I don't know. I just one day I got tired of staying home.
Okay.
Mm.
I was like one of those people. I got out the military, and um, I tell a lot of people if they've never met me when I got out the military,
Mm.
totally was different than I am now.
Mm.
Like I would go home, go to HEB, wherever I need to go get what I get, come back home, stay home, play video games. That's it, right?
Mm. Mm.
For a while because I didn't know nobody in
Yeah,
Austin at that
Mm.
point.
Mm.
I didn't have those relationships of people, you
yeah,
know. Then worked at Target. It was weird. Wake up early in the morning,
Mm.
go unload the truck for Target, stock, go back home.
yeah.
Say it was like a repeated cycle.
Hmm.
And then I started kind of like stepping my foot out a little bit more, going out, and I met a couple people, and then a good friend of mine, Stephanie, she introduced me to craft beer,
Mm.
and that's how kind of like the start of like, oh, let's go to these breweries. You ever been to breweries? No. And meeting, and that at that point that started like the influx of like,
Right.
hey man, why don't you come out and do this?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't never been there before. How long you lived in Austin? like 2 years. They're like, you
Yeah.
never 6th Street? Yeah, I mean, did 6th Street, but I was like, I've never ventured to do other things outside of 6th Street. It
Gotcha.
was like drinking, partying, go home, and I never. It was like I had blinders on, like I was like
Yeah.
a tunnel vision.
And your story. Go ahead.
I just want to touch on that because like I'm a military brat. Like I'm not my parents were so I go on different. I went to high school all through like my whole years. I was like you go to these different places you live in, and a lot of people have the misconception like being in Austin. Everybody's like, oh, San Antonio. San Antonio's military USA, and I didn't know how many people here were just like military, right? Like, do you talk to other like veterans or other people here? Like, do y'all have a group where y'all actually have these conversations? Because I feel like I run into people and they say the similar thing. I don't know if there's that culture. Are you affiliated with those folks?
I meet veterans all the time. I've tried to help them. Like if they like,
Mm-hmm.
some of them may say, I don't like the VA. Like some vets, and shout out to them. They're like really strong about not like
Like,
doing their claims for the VA. They don't.
Mhm.
They feel like, I don't need that money. Like,
Oh,
da da da.
okay.
But I'm like, nah, man. Like I'm like, man, you have two or
You
three.
learn something new every day.
Yeah, you have 2 or 3 deployments under your belt, and you're dealing with like PTSD. You're dealing with like pain and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You take that money because you earned it.
Yeah.
We earned that.
I think what you asking, because you the middleman, you connected people up, you
Yeah.
donated money back. Is there any mission behind what you do and pouring back to that realm that you came from, being a veteran? Is there a space for that? Are you working on a space for that? Has there been a space for that to help those that have trouble getting that direction?
In the beginning, when I first was here in Cedar Park, I worked with a nonprofit. But it kind of like eventually, because I'm not going to say their name, eventually, like what ended up happening is that I noticed that they really were just looking out for themselves. Like they had a space for veterans, and I was like touched on, but like not touched on, pause. But like I was like, I was like interacting with veterans and helping them and like talking and keeping in contact.
Yeah.
But they'd be like in the back chilling. But then like, how do you have this expensive house, but you have a veteran that came in and y'all told him you can give them any money or help?
Sound like church.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
ain't gonna get on that.
Yeah. Don't
So it's kind of like now, and that's a great question. I think there's space for it to do it, but like I know Central Machine Works does a beer specifically every year for veterans.
That's what's up.
I've been involved with that, and anybody that's in the industry or anybody, they try to get vets, but sometimes vets don't want to come out, man.
Yeah. The reason I was asking that because there's certain people that I come across and they are a model for what a person can be. And sometimes I see people that are veterans and they struggle with what you said, like not knowing how to transition. So speaking to Paul with your story and how you are able to do the things you're doing, I think people need to know and see that and be like, maybe I need to go out more. Maybe I can do it. He's doing it, and people just don't know. Like there's that community here. I feel like it could be empowering for like.
And I feel like, I think like it doesn't always have to be the drinking and the partying. You know what I'm saying? Like you can chill. You can, but I think sometimes like, even me when I was getting out, that's how it was, man.
Yeah.
Just drink. Drink, go out, have a good time, drink some more.
Play spades.
Man, I'm not the greatest spades player.
Everybody ain't Jamaican, bro.
No, it
ain't.
ain't.
The Mama Class.
Jamaican is not a spade.
No, my whole family grew up playing spades. Bro, they be shunning me like you don't play spades enough.
Yeah, you would get.
We come
I play video games, man. Hey,
we come into a close here, but I want to touch on some important points. I think reading your story, getting out there, your friend introduced you. Her name again, once more time, to beer.
Stephanie.
Was it Stephanie?
Yeah, my homie Stephanie.
She introduced you to beer, but when I was reading in breweries, when I was reading your story, you took the initiative to go out there. You was new to that realm, but you was like, "Hey, I want to work in this field. I want a job. Like, hey, teach me." Like, you would pop up at breweries. Am I getting it wrong, or is that kind of like what you did?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like I want to know what this is about.
Yeah, so you took that initiative, and it's nerve wracking, right? Because you don't know shit about it at the time.
Yeah.
And once they give you the job, if they give you the job, you're like, oh shit, now I got the job. Now I got to buckle down. So I want people to understand, I appreciate you opening up, sharing your story too. We touched on a lot of topics that can be sensitive for other people. Just get out there. And what he was saying, to touch on his point, get out there and do your thing. The veteran thing and people that struggle in general, I see so many great qualities in them that they don't see in themselves.
They don't see themselves.
Yeah, and it pains me, bro. And you can't help nobody unless they want to help themselves. But I hope Marvin's message helps, and I hope y'all hear us and y'all understand. Like, just get out there and take the initiative. It don't have to be drinking. It don't got to be partying. Whatever the mission is, get outside and start making moves and just take it one day at a time, one step at a time.
Yeah, it's needed. It's needed. That's why I like going to Keep It Cute events. We see you, we support, like, yo, we show love.
Half people don't even realize on it. Some of those events I don't drink.
You just be I don't see him when I walk in. I'll turn around, he'll just be standing there like, what's up? Like, where y'all coming from? I'm like, this dude be popping up out of nowhere. Where can they find you at? What you got coming up next?
Yes.
Let's
So Instagram, the middleman ATX, the middleman _ ATX.
Okay.
I only have Instagram. Catch me at Keep It Cute at Daydreamers. We do have the anniversary February 8th.
Okay, February 8th.
We do have March, the first Saturday of South by, or second Saturday, which it will be the first Saturday of South by. We'll have another Keep It Cute, and just follow Keep It Cute on Instagram.
And are you open to working with and doing other collabs with other promoters?
Yeah, I'm always down to do collabs. And shout out to my boy Shannon Harris with As One that does As One with me. G Nice, Yo Colombo that's with Keep It Cute. Daydreamers, of course, and like everybody that's just been a supporter, man. Like I really appreciate everybody and you guys for having me on.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here.
Let them know where you at. The Map Social, let them know. Just let them know, hey, you here? Shout yourself out. Shout us out.
Yo, I'm here with the Map Social. I'm the middleman. This is my boy Marcus and my boy here, AV. And come check them out. They're really dope.
The casual energy is much appreciated.
Know, right?
He's too cool.
He's
too
like,
cool.
It's Friday.
Hey, we appreciate Marvin, the middleman. We appreciate y'all. This is the Map Social presents the Dirty Laundry Podcast. We'll catch y'all next time.
Peace, y'all.
Yep.